I'd like to welcome everyone into Cascade High School, where we have the District 9 AA semifinal matchup between the Community Vikings and the Loretto Mustangs. We're about to get underway with the national anthem and the starting lineups. Again, this will be an audio-only broadcast, so you'll be looking at the scoreboard through the entirety, but I'll turn it over to the PA announcer as we get that national anthem underway.
These rules provide for fair competition among players. Spectators can help promote good sportsmanship also by observing the rules. Each one is requested to take personal responsibility for keeping this game at a high level of sportsmanship. If you would please rise at this time and move your camera for playing the national anthem. Now for your starting lineups for game one of the evening between Loretto and Community. First up for the Community Vikings, number 1, Jonathan Law. Number 3, Charlie Hackett. Number 5, Jackson Williams. Number 14, Joshua Howard. Number 24, Andrew Poster. Caution. The Vikings are coached by Hunter Burke. Now for Loretto, number 2, Cam Andrews. Number 3, Tyler Wilkins. Number 13, Mason Tidwell. Number 22, Grant Fisher. Number 23, Jaden Aaron. The Vikings are coached by Loretto.
And with that, we'd like to welcome you in. The starters for the Community Vikings, number 1, Jonathan Lawwell, number 3, Charlie Haskins, number 5, Jackson Williams, number 14, Josh Powers, and number 24, Andrew Toshio. The starting lineup for Loretto, number 2, Cam Andrews, number 3, Kylan Wilkerson, number 13, Mason Tidwell, number 22, Grant Fisher, and number 23, Jadam Aaron. So the starting lineups have not changed according to the previous matchups. So very familiar faces. We'll duke it out for the third time this year, as Powers will go up against Tidwell for the tip-off. The officials are ready. The ball is in the air, and it is basketball time in Community. So Andrews with the basketball, as Loretto has possession of it first. Gives off to Fisher. Now back to Andrews. Andrews going to drive in the paint, leaves it for Tidwell. Tidwell thought about the three. Now he's going to get it over to Fisher. Now Tidwell back with it at the top of the key. Gives over to Andrews. Andrews with it. Now he'll back it out. Gives over to Tidwell. Tidwell's the man you got to stop. He's scored at least 20 on both occasions. He had 31 the last time we faced him. Andrews with it. He'll give off to Fisher. Now back to Andrews. Tidwell, corner blocked. The three-pointer was blocked. It goes out of bounds, and it will belong to Community. So the shot was blocked, then it went off of Tidwell. So Community with possession under the basket. Charlie Haskins has it, being guarded by Fisher. They'll bring it across the timeline. Now gives over to Williams on the right. He's got Toshio down in the right corner. He'll bring it out to the top of the key, gives off to Lawwell. Lawwell with it. He drives, kicks it over to Haskins. Haskins beyond the arc, still has it. Now gives to Williams. Williams drives in the paint, kicks to Lawwell. Lawwell in the paint, head fake. Now gives to Williams. Williams back out beyond the arc, and they'll set it back up again. Haskins with it at the top of the key. He'll drive the paint, puts up the shot, too strong, and the ball is loose, and Williams saves it, but it goes into the arms of Andrews. Loretto back with it as Andrews will bring it across the timeline. Andrews gives over to Fisher. Fisher on the left side finds Wilkerson down in the paint, puts it up, and that one rolls off the rim. Rebound, Tidwell, yes. And Tidwell gets it to go off the square, and he picks up his first 2 of the night. Haskins will swing it over to Williams. Now Lawwell with it on the right wing. Lawwell goes baseline. He'll leave it for Powers down in the corner. Now Haskins with it. They'll swing it around the arc. Toshio off to Williams. Williams drives to the paint, pushed off on Wilkerson a little bit. Still in the paint. Dishes it off to Lawwell. Lawwell back to Williams. Williams going baseline. He'll come out on the other corner. Now Williams gives it to Haskins at the top. Now Toshio back to Williams. Williams on the right side. Williams thought about going to the paint. Elects not to. Comes back out. Gives off to Toshio. Now Toshio to Lawwell. Lawwell drives to the paint. Head fake. And has to give it off to Haskins. So a lot of ball movement. Haskins finally drives in. Goes baseline. Finds Powers. And he puts it up but cannot get it to go as Tidwell gets the rebound. Gives off to Fisher. Fisher back to Andrews. And Andrews will look over at Coach Greg Tips to get the sign. And now gives to Tidwell on the left. Fisher now down to Andrews in the corner. Andrews will dribble it out, being guarded by Toshio. Now they'll swing it to Wilkerson. Wilkerson with it on the right corner, and he'll find Andrews. Andrews drives in the paint. I thought he traveled. Nothing called. Fisher with it beyond the arc. Fisher drives, almost lost it. Now off to Andrews, and a foul on Lawwell. So Jonathan Lawwell with his first infraction at the 5:01 mark. Again, if you're just joining us, you can watch the game over on X Sports Network, or tonight we have the audio only, so we'll have the scoreboard playing for the entire basketball game. So you'll always know the score, you'll always know the clock. Obviously, Loretto, the higher seed, so they are going to be on the home side of that scoreboard. Andrews with it beyond the arc, drives down, and that one was knocked away momentarily. He regains it, gives off to Wilkerson. Wilkerson with it. Now the ball's loose on the floor. He picks it up and scoops it over to Andrews. Andrews at the top of the key. Lawwell guarding him closely. Andrews drives in the paint, finds Tidwell, backside, yes! Tidwell with another one, an easy shot off the square. He found a backside bounce pass and an easy 2 points. It's 4-0 Loretto. Williams with it. Williams drives in the paint, puts it up, and a foul called. It looks like it's going to be on the floor as the guilty party is going to be number 3, Kylan Wilkerson. That is his first. Meanwhile, Williams with it in the paint, puts it up, muscles his way. Yes! It goes off of the back of the iron, pops up, and drops through the netting, and the score 4-2. Andrews with it. Top of the key, now swings over to Fisher. Now back to Andrews. Fisher with it on the left side. Back over to Andrews at the top. He'll swing it over to Aaron. Aaron with it beyond the arc, gives it down to Tidwell in the right corner. Now they'll swing it all the way around the horn. Andrews drives baseline, tries to find Tidwell down low. He does, puts it up, and gets another one to go underneath. Timeout. Head coach Hunter Farrell, we have got to find a way to stop the bleeding. If you're looking at the scoreboard, it's Mason Tidwell 6, Community 2. We'll take the break. You're watching Viking basketball on the Ball Network. So welcome back in, flying solo tonight. Want to wish my mother and father well, as my mother was a little under the weather, so my father stayed home, and we're going to do the best we can solo tonight. Lawwell with it as Community has possession coming out of the timeout. Williams drives the paint, puts it up. Yes! The kiss off the square, and Williams gets his second bucket, and the score 6-4. Andrews with it, goes over off to the right side, the far side away from me, as Lawwell giving chase. Into the ball game is number 25, Cooper Burleson, as Burleson hands off to Tidwell. Tidwell trying to come off somewhat of a screen, now gives back to Andrews. Also into the basketball game is number 11, Kason Springer. So Loretto with a couple of early substitutions, as that is a blocking foul on the baseline. Powers slid over, got over a little too late, and he will be charged with the infraction. So now into the basketball game as Spencer will come out. And back with the original 5 other than Burleson still in. The inbound, Andrews, 3, yes! Wide open look as Carson Boyce has checked in for Community. And the score, 9-4. Haskins will bring it across the timeline. Haskins going to drop off to Toshio. Toshio now swinging to Powers. Powers finds Williams over in the right corner. Now he'll give to Toshio. Toshio will bring it back to the top of the key, gives to Haskins. Haskins being guarded by Wilkerson. Now back to Williams. Williams and Tidwell matched up. Haskins, corner, now gives off to Powers, top of the key, drives, and a nice dish. Yes! Get in there! It rolled around as Boyce put that one off the glass, and the sophomore knocks it home. The score, 11-6. So Burleson with it. Tidwell going to go baseline. Cut off by Boyce. And gets it off to Burleson. Three-pointer. Bottom. Cooper Burleson knocks down a 3. And the score, 12-6. 1:38 to go here in the first. As Haskins drives. Nobody comes over. And an easy bucket in the lane for Charlie Haskins. And the score, 12-8. So Community not backing down. Community is the only team in the district to give Loretto a loss, and they look to do it again tonight. Andrews drives in the paint, left it for Burleson beyond the arc. Now he'll give back to Andrews at the top. Andrews drives, runs into Boyce. Wilkerson, Tidwell, three-pointer, and that one off the mark, but the ball is loose, finally picked up by Williams. 1 minute. 1 minute to go here in the first. Williams leads for Haskins. Haskins thought about the 3, head fake, drives in the paint, puts it up. Yes! Charlie Hustle gets it to go down in the lane. And the score, 12-10. Tidwell with it for Loretto. Leaves for Burleson. Now back at the top of the key, Andrews. They've got 43 seconds to work with. Andrews drives. Pass intercepted by Powers. Powers picks it off in the lane, gives off to Toshio. And now Community can elect a hold as they look over to head coach Hunter Farrell. He gives the signal to Haskins, and he indeed tells him, hold on to that basketball for the last shot. Haskins all the way, almost near the Cascade midcourt logo, as he is letting it trickle down to 15 seconds before he's going to try to pursue anything here. Haskins now at the top of the key, under 10 seconds. Swings over to Williams. Williams drives in the paint, finds Boyce down low, puts it up. Yes! The kiss off the glass as the shot from half court won't go, and we end the first the same way we started. We're tied. But this time at 12, we'll take a quick break. We're going to thank the sponsors. You're listening to Viking Basketball on the Bowl Network.
Home isn't just where you live, it's where you belong. It's your people, your school, and your community. That's why I'm proud to support our community Vikings and Vikings this season. Even if I can't shoot like them, I can still sell your house.
So welcome back in. If you're tuning in tonight, obviously no video. You'll see the scoreboard for the entirety of the game as the TSSAA and NFHS own the rights to this one. X Sports Network is going to help them out, so you can tune over there if you'd like to watch the game. As Community has possession to start the second period. Haskins with it, gives off to Williams. Williams drives to the paint, head fake, puts it up. Yes! Jackson Williams, the senior, knocks it down. He's got 6. And Community's got their first lead of the night. It's 14-12. Andrews will give over to Burleson. Tidwell, Fisher, and just into the basketball game number 42, Saber Franklin, as another 3 goes down for Loretto. So 15-14, the Mustangs come right back. Haskins with it, now gives off to Williams. Williams loses control of it, but able to regain possession as he gives off to Hill, who has checked in for Community. So Williams has it now, drives, down on the block, turns around, spin move, puts it up, yes! Jackson Williams having a night. That is 8 points for the young man thus far, and the score 16-15. Burleson with it on the right as the Mustangs come back with it. Andrews back to Burleson. Burleson back to Andrews. Andrews has got Fisher over here to his left, elects not to go to him as he gives it back to Burleson. And now gives off to Tidwell at the elbow. Tidwell being quadruple teamed, and Burleson, three-pointer, bottom! And Burleson has had the hot hand off the bench as Loretto regains the lead, 18-16. Haskins drives, puts it up. Yes, that one rattles home. Timeout. Coach Greg Tips, he's seen enough. We're tied at 18. We'll take the break. You're listening to Viking Basketball on the Ball Network. So welcome back in as we are approaching the 6-minute mark. We are knotted at 18 as Andrews, Burleson, Tidwell, Franklin, and Fisher have come out for Loretto. Meanwhile, we've got Boyce, Williams, Haskins, Lawwell, and Hill. Fisher with it at the top, hands off to Burleson. Burleson now gives off to Andrews. Andrews drives in the paint, stops, pulls up, shot, yes! Nice job by Cam Andrews, the junior, to get that one to go down, and the score 20-18 in favor of the Mustangs. Haskins with it, hands off to Lawwell. Lawwell on the left side, now gives back to Haskins. Haskins thought about the 3, now head fake, going to drive in, puts it up. Counted in the foul as Haskins gets it to go home. He'll toe the mark for the old-fashioned three-point play. As now Fisher will have a seat, and they will let Wilkerson come into the ball game. Normally they'll go ahead and shoot the free throw, but Wilkerson back in for Loretto as the free throw rattles out. Rebound goes to the big man Franklin. My word, believe that young man is a freshman. As Tidwell has it knocked away by Lawwell. Haskins has got it back to Lawwell, puts it up. Yes! The kiss off the glass. And now they throw it away. Perhaps Loretto a little bit rattled as the turnover after the bucket. So 2 consecutive turnovers, and Haskins with it in the backcourt. They'll slow it down. 22-20 the score as Hill has it, hands off to Lawwell. Lawwell beyond the arc, going to drive and finds Haskins in the right corner, but he'll give it back to Lawwell as Haskins fumbled the reception somewhat. Now he's got it at the top of the key. He'll hand off to Hill. Hill thought about driving, is going to kick it to Lawwell. Lawwell outside the arc will give off to Haskins. Haskins now going to come back to the center of the court. Haskins now gives off to Hill. They'll swing it around the arc. Lawwell thought about going down into the paint, cut off by Burleson. Now Lawwell still going to go baseline, try to leave it for Boyce. He does, as Boyce never did really face the basket on the block, and Haskins with it beyond the arc. Now they'll swing it around the horn. Lawwell with it on the left side. gives off to Haskins, who's got it down in the corner. Now he'll simply just dribble out and hand off to Lawwell. 4:28 to go as Lawwell drives, puts it up, and that one off the back of the iron. Rebound goes to Franklin. Franklin is a big body. You're going to have to box him out as Tidwell's got it in the paint, drives, puts it up. Yes! 2 more points for Mason Tidwell, the senior, and we're knotted at 22 apiece as we approach the 4-minute mark here to go until halftime. It's everything we thought it would be, the 4 seed against the 1 seed, but Community, again, is the only team that has knocked off Loretto in the district this year. Williams with it. Williams driving in the paint, and I thought he may have traveled. Nothing called. Dishes off to Lawwell. Lawwell finds Hill in the corner. 3, and that one hits the top of the backboard. The officials did not whistle it dead. They'll let it play as Tidwell comes down with a rebound. Now Andrews with it. And now a travel by Burleson as he was a little indecisive if he was going to give back to Andrews. As Hill and Boyce will check out for Community, and Toshio and Powers back in. And number 23, Aaron, was trying to get in, but the scores table not going to let him, or better yet, the officials not going to let him, as he arrived to the table a little late. So Haskins across the timeline, Wilkerson all over him as the handoff goes to Lawwell. Powers comes up, sets the screen. Lawwell decides to go off of it. Yes! He went off the backside, drove down the lane, puts it up off the square, and the score, 24-22. Tidwell had it knocked away from behind by Lawwell, but it goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Mustangs. And now Jadam Aaron will come back into the contest as the big man Saber Franklin will check out. 3:11 to go here until halftime as Andrews has it in the backcourt. He'll bring it across, so it's Andrews, Burleson, Tidwell, Wilkerson, and Aaron. So it's the 4 of the 5 starters still out there as Tidwell drives baseline, muscles his way, and a foul called on the baseline. So that foul on the floor. I believe the guilty party is Williams, but we shall see. And indeed, it is going to be on Jackson Williams. I believe that is his first. As Burleson will inbound along the baseline underneath the basket, finds Wilkerson right at the three-point line. Wilkerson drives in the paint, spin move, puts it up. Yes! Nice maneuver by Wilkerson. He got up in the air, and the defender couldn't catch up, and we're tied at 24. Haskins will bring it across as we approach that 2:30 mark. Nice screen by Lawwell up top. Haskins drives. Yes! The kiss off the glass. He went to the right side of the square and put it up and in, coming off that screen that was set at the top. So beautiful play by Lawwell. Better play by Haskins. Now it's stolen away as it's knocked away. Lawwell's got it. Gives off to Williams. Now back to Lawwell. Lawwell drives. Kicks out. Toshio thought about that 3. Now gives to Williams. Williams drives in the paint. Finds Powers backside. Yes! Beautiful look. Great job by Powers to sneak his way to the baseline and get the easy 2. It is 28-24, the largest lead of the night. Wilkerson, Burleson, 3. And that one rims out. Rebound underneath by Aaron. Can't get it to go. Tidwell can't get it to go. Aaron's got the rebound, puts it up, and finally Powers comes away with it as Loretto was hoping for a foul and did not get it called. 1:38 to go as Williams has got it. 4-point lead. Long 3. Haskins. That misses everything, but Powers gets the rebound underneath. Lawwell drives, and I'm not sure if it was knocked away, but Williams has got it, and he puts it in. Excellent play by all 5 staying together. The air ball from Haskins. Somehow, Williams and Powers kept it alive long enough to give Williams 2 points. Now back down on the other end, a missed shot by Andrews, and here we go, off and running. Haskins blocked by Tidwell, but a foul instead is going to be called as Tidwell got a piece of Haskins from behind. And Haskins finally up on his own as he marches off to the free throw line. And the scoreboard actually says that Burleson is the man to be called for the foul, but it sure did look like it was Tidwell as that free throw rims out. Meanwhile, Fisher back in for Loretto, and first time tonight for Community, number 34, Maddox Thompson, the sophomore. So we've got Thompson, Williams, Haskins, Lawwell, and Powers as Haskins toes the mark. The second free throw, it rattles out, and Fisher's got the rebound. 1 minute. 1 minute to go in this one as Tidwell's being harassed in the backcourt. Finally, Burleson's got it, but he's being double-teamed. Works his way out. Wilkerson down in the paint, puts it up, and he is fouled. He'll go to the line for 2. So 50 seconds left as Maddox Thompson gets his first infraction. Kylan Wilkerson, the senior, will toe the mark, and the free throw is good. Community definitely came to play. This pressure that they have brought tonight, a little different as that second free throw goes down. So credit to Community for sort of changing things up. A lot more of a pressure look, and now Loretto's going to show some pressure of their own here in the last 50 seconds as Williams will inbound under the basket, gives off to Haskins. Haskins draws the double team, gives off to Lawwell, center court, gives it to Williams and easily cruises across the timeline. Lawwell now back to Williams, 40 seconds. Haskins with it on the left wing, now gives back to Lawwell at the top, gives back to Haskins. Haskins back to Lawwell on the left. Now Haskins back out at midcourt as he looks over at head coach Hunter Farrell, who I'm assuming is saying waste the clock around the arc and get ready for that last attempt. We're down to 20 seconds as Haskins has got it, being guarded by Fisher. Now to Lawwell on the left side, 15 seconds. Now Hunter Farrell calls out the signals on the fingers as Haskins looks over. He's got the assignment. Haskins drives, kicks, powers, three, and that one off the mark. Rebound is going to go to Fisher. He's tied up, and the buzzer has sounded. So no foul, no tie-up. We'll just go to the locker room. It's been a heck of a first half. It's everything we thought that it would be. Our score, Community 30, Loretto 26. We'll hope you'll come back for the second half action. We've got to thank all the sponsors. You're listening to Viking Basketball on the Ball Network.
Home isn't just where you live, it's where you belong. It's your people, your school, and your community. That's why I'm proud to support our community Vikings and Vikings this season. Even if I can't shoot like them, I can still sell your house.
So Sudbury, located at 617 Parson Road in Shelbyville, Tennessee, is your one-stop shop for everything purple and gold. The Spirit Store has all things in every sport. Do you need new gear with the new community logos? So Sudbury has you covered. They have the new logos on all items and anything else you can imagine. So Sudbury, when it comes to quality, it must be so.
Bella Chic Boutique, located at 300 North Britton Street in Shelbyville, Tennessee, offers fabulous style with all the latest fashions. We also offer seasonal attire to celebrate all major holidays. Getting ready for the big game? Yeah, we have you covered there too. We also carry all the items you'll ever need to complete your ensemble. Bella Chic Boutique. Look good, feel good, dress good.
Home isn't just where you live, it's where you belong. It's your people, your school, and your community. That's why I'm proud to support our community Vikings and Vikings this season. Even if I can't shoot like them, I can still sell your house.
So Sudbury, located at 617 Parson Road in Shelbyville, Tennessee, is your one-stop shop for everything purple and gold. The Spirit Store has all things in every sport. Do you need new gear with the new community logos? So Sudbury has you covered. They have the new logos on all items and anything else you can imagine. So Sudbury, when it comes to quality, it must be so.
Bella Chic Boutique, located at 300 North Britton Street in Shelbyville, Tennessee, offers fabulous style with all the latest fashions. We also offer seasonal attire to celebrate all major holidays. Getting ready for the big game? Yeah, we have you covered there too. We also carry all the items you'll ever need to complete your ensemble. Bella Chic Boutique. Look good, feel good, dress good.
So Sudbury, located at 617 Parson Road in Shelbyville, Tennessee, is your one-stop shop for everything purple and gold. The Spirit Store has all things in every sport. Do you need new gear with the new community logos? So Sudbury has you covered. They have the new logos on all items and anything else you can imagine. So Sudbury, when it comes to quality, it must be so.
So welcome back in. Got about a minute and a half until we get the second half underway. As you can see on the scoreboard, it's been a good half of basketball for the good guys. Community leads it 30-26. If you ask what's at stake tonight, well, there's quite a bit. The winner of this game will play tomorrow at 7:30, and that will be against either Cascade or Summertown. They play later tonight, so we will not know the opponent yet. But if you win, you play at 7:30. If you lose, you play at 4:30. Meanwhile, the previous meetings, again, we are the only team in the district that has knocked off Loretto. We won 55-51 at home. We lost at Loretto 45-36. The big difference in that one was Mason Tidwell. In the loss, he only scored 20. In the win, he had 31. Tonight, he's got 8, and we have got to contain him at the halftime break, 30-26, as the teams are getting ready to take the floor once again. And again, if you're curious, tuning in, TSSAA restrictions along with the agreement with NFHS is what is preventing us from showing anything tonight. Now, the X Sports Network was able to work out an agreement to show the game on their feed, so you can go over to YouTube and check them out if you'd like. But if you want the community flavor, if you will, you'll stick with us for the duration of this one. So Loretto will have possession coming out here to start the third quarter, and it's Andrews bringing it up. It's Andrews over to Aaron. Now back to Andrews on the right side. He's being guarded closely by Haskins. Now he picks up the dribble. Is going to give over to Fisher on the left side. Now back to Andrews. Andrews to Fisher. And the official down low on the baseline has blown the whistle. It's going to be something against us. What is it, Mr. Official? And it is going to be a push on Joshua Powers. That is his second infraction of the night, as Tidwell will inbound underneath the basket and throws long for Wilkerson, who gives off to Andrews. Andrews now with it. Andrews on the right side of the arc, gives down to Fisher in the corner. Fisher was trying to get to Aaron, could not, has to back it out to Andrews. Andrews being guarded by Haskins, now comes off a screen and a whistle blows. I could not see through the bodies of humanity there what actually took place, so there's a foul called against us, and it is on Jonathan Lawwell. That is his second as well. So Fisher will inbound, gives off, and that one punches Tidwell right in the face, but then goes off of Toshio. So it will stay with Loretto. 7:27 to go here in the third. 30-26 is the score. So Lawwell, Haskins, Toshio, Powers, and Williams for community, as Andrews, Tidwell, Wilkerson, Aaron, and Fisher for Loretto. Wilkerson drives, and Andrews now has it at the top as they just keep throwing it around the arc. Good defense by community. Andrews thought about taking that three. Now drives in the paint. Nice pass to Aaron. Puts it up, and it won't rattle home. Rebound by Wilkerson won't go, and he gets it again, and a foul underneath, I believe, is going to be on Lawwell. We shall see. And Lawwell is called for the foul. That is his third, as Boyce will come in for Toshio. But he's going to leave Jonathan Lawwell out there with the 3 fouls early here in the second half. Inbound, Wilkerson with it. Now gives off to Tidwell. Tidwell, Andrews, wide open 3. And that one hits the rim, but rebound. Tidwell comes flying through the lane, gets the rebound, puts it home, and the score 30-28. Quickly back the other way. Boyce with it on the block. Lawwell now has it beyond the arc. They'll swing it around the horn. Haskins with it. He'll back it out to center logo. And now gives to Powers on the left side. Now back over to Haskins. Powers thought about that 3. Boyce, Haskins, and elected not to take the three as he'll shimmy over and give it to Lawwell. Now Powers looking low. A kicked ball goes off of Jadam Aaron, and it will belong to Community. 6:22 to go, 2-point game in favor of the Vikings. Powers has the inbound pass, hands off to Williams. Williams driving in the paint. Williams puts it up, and that one too strong and rattles out as Wilkerson's got the rebound. He'll bring it back. Wilkerson over to Andrews. Andrews going to drive down into the paint. Now kicks out. Wilkerson three-pointer. Bottom. Kylan Wilkerson, and the score 31-30. Lawwell gives over to Haskins. Now quickly to Williams as they break the press. As Williams gives to Powers down in the left corner. Now they'll swing it around the arc. Lawwell, Haskins now with it at the top. Powers, left side. Haskins back to the top of the key. Lawwell with it on the right side. Now he'll give back to Haskins. Now over to Powers on the left. Now he'll swing it to Lawwell, who comes to the top of the key. Now back over to Powers. Powers dribbles it out, being guarded by Fisher. Now Lawwell has it. Lawwell coming off somewhat of a screen by Powers, but hands over to Haskins on the right side. Now Williams with it on the left. Now Powers down in the left corner, was looking low, and that pass intercepted as he thought Boyce was going to come to the block, but instead Jadam Aaron was the one to find that one. And back comes with it, being Loretto. Andrews, nice kick to Wilkerson. Wilkerson traveled, yes! Wilkerson shuffled the feet as he was going to fake the shot, go underneath and try to drive the lane, and is called for the travel. 5:05 to go here in the third. A 1-point advantage for the boys from Lawrence County. Hill with it. Lawwell, now they'll swing it around. Williams has got it on the left side. Now back to Haskins at the top of the key. Gives to Lawwell on the right. Now Williams, Haskins. Haskins going to drive baseline. Puts it up, reverse. Won't go. Rebound, Boyce. Won't go. Rebound, Boyce again. Yes! Stick-to-itiveness. And that one goes. The score, 32-31. Andrews back with it for the Mustangs as he's got it at center court. Now they'll give off to Tidwell, back to Andrews. Andrews now back to Tidwell, swinging over to Fisher. Fisher finds Wilkerson down and has it down in the corner. Now gives back to Andrews. They'll slow it down and set it up. Andrews looks over at head coach Greg Tips. He's got the sign as Andrews will dribble down in there. Now he'll circle around, gives off to Tidwell, cutting in the paint, puts it up, and they're going to say it's on the floor. I'm shocked. I thought he had it up in time. So no basket as Burleson will check in for Fisher. And the foul, meanwhile, is on Jackson Williams. That is his second infraction. Tidwell will inbound underneath the basket as he's looking long to Andrews. Andrews, wide open three, and that one off the front of the rim. Rebound going to go to the little bitty Jonathan Lawwell. Comes out of the pack, gives over to Haskins. Haskins finds Boyce, and it's knocked away by Wilkerson, but Wilkerson was on the baseline. He is out of bounds. It'll belong to the purple and gold. 3:35 to go in the third, 1-point game. Haskins will inbound underneath the basket. Haskins throwing long for Lawwell. Lawwell back to Haskins in the left corner. Now Haskins will come all the way to the top of the key as he looks over to head coach Hunter Farrell. They're going to set it up. Wilkerson slides underneath the screen, but still a drive and the kiss as that one goes down for Charlie Hustle, and the score 34-31. Long throw for Andrews. Andrews drives, blocked by Boyce, but then the pass intercepted. Excellent awareness by number 23, the senior Jaden Aram. He takes the pass and simply puts it up and in off the square. We're back to a 1-point game. Lawwell drives, kicks down to Boyce, and that one knocked away in the paint. It will stay with Community. Haskins inbounds to Williams. Williams beyond the arc, wide open three, and that one off the back of the iron. Rebound going to go to Aaron. Aaron gives off to Burleson. Burleson cross court to Andrews. Andrews being guarded closely by Haskins. Now Burleson, who's had quite a few threes. He's had 3, in fact, Now Andrews, three-pointer off the back of the iron. Ball's loose. Haskins has got it. We're off and running. Lawwell backside. Couldn't contain it. And has the awareness to throw it off of Burleson. And it goes out of bounds. It'll belong to Community. And Coach Hunter Farrell will call the timeout. So we'll take a break at 2:26 to go here in the third. You're listening to Viking basketball on the Ball Network. So I'd like to welcome everyone back into Cascade High School. We've got a barn burner between the 1 seed in the district, the Loretto Mustangs, and the 4 seed Community Vikings. What's at stake? Somebody is going to play Summertown or Cascade tomorrow night at 7:30 in the winners bracket. As that one backside, looking for Williams. The ball is loose on the block, and a timeout was awarded to Community. I guess Williams had enough of the possession. So we'll take a quick break. It'll probably be 30 seconds. You're listening to Viking basketball on the Ball Network. So 2:17 to go here in the third. 1 point lead as that one is thrown inbounds long to Williams. Williams looking backside, has Hill. Yes! The kiss off the glass. And the score, 36-33. Burleson in the backcourt. Finally gives over across to Tidwell. Wilkerson on the block, spin move, puts it up. And that one rims out, rebound, Wilkerson and Boyce. And I believe Boyce reached in. He is going to be called for the foul. So Boyce is going to get his first infraction as now the officials have blown the whistle. They're going to chat a little bit. Wilkerson going to the line as that is the 5th team foul. And last night the fouls not called evenly in the girls game. The fouls were 2-1. Right now in the third quarter, 5 fouls against Community, 0 against Loretto. As Wilkerson knocks the free throw down, the second one good as well. We're back to a 1 point game as Fisher will check back in for Burleson for the Mustangs. So we've got Williams, Haskins, Lawwell, Boyce, and Hill. Meanwhile, they've got Franklin, Tidwell, Wilkerson, Andrews, and Fisher. Lawwell in the backcourt with it, gives over to Haskins. Haskins drawing a little bit of a double team as he picks up his dribble. They finally get across court to Williams. Williams now Haskins. Now back to Haskins. As he was giving it off to Lawwell. Now Lawwell with it. Back to Williams. Williams, Hill, Haskins beyond the arc. Now looks down low to Williams. And Williams is going to kick it across court to Lawwell. Gives it to Hill down in the corner. Three-pointer. And that one rims out as there was a lot of contact. And then I thought may have been a walk. So no whistles on either as Tidwell has it at center court. The Mustangs back with it. As the big man, Saber Franklin, taking up a lot of space on the block. Him and Boyce battling it out down low. 1:12 to go here in the third. A 1 point lead by Community. As Fisher's got it, that one almost stolen away by Lawwell. Lazy pass, but Tidwell found grips on it as he gives over to Andrews. Back to Tidwell, 3, bottom. Tidwell knocks it down as the score's 38-36. As we go under a minute. And now a little bit of an applaud from the Community fans as finally a whistle has gone against Loretto. It is the first foul since 2025 because the score 38-36 and they have not been called for much tonight. As a foul called there on number 3, Colin Wilkerson. It is his second, as he picked up a foul early, as there's a drive, and no goaltending is called as Tidwell got it on the way up, or excuse me, on the way down, I thought. But the official's going to let him play, so Haskins' shot technically blocked, as Andrews has got it for Loretto. They're going to try to hold for the last shot. 24 seconds as they lead it by 2. Fisher drives, kicks over to Tidwell. Tidwell now back to Fisher beyond the arc. 16 seconds to go. Haskins on Tidwell. Andrews looks over. And now he is going to finally dribble at the 7-second mark. Looks for Aaron down low. Kicks to Tidwell. 3-pointer. And that went off the back of the iron. Wilkerson puts it up. Count that at the buzzer. Nobody came over. Nobody boxed him out. Wilkerson with an excellent job of getting the rebound and getting that shot off in time as it goes through right at zeros. So the score 40-36. We'll be back with the fourth quarter action. You're listening to Viking Basketball on the Ball Network.
Home isn't just where you live, it's where you belong. It's your people, your school, and your community. That's why I'm proud to support our community Vikings and Vikings this season. Even if I can't shoot like them, I can still sell your house.
So we are back, fourth quarter action, as Community trails by 4 as they have possession here. We've got Lawwell, Haskins, Williams, Powers, and Toshio. As Toshio with it on the left side. Thought about the 3, now back to Lawwell. Lawwell sizing up Fisher, and now Andrews on him. Lawwell gives over to Williams. Williams over to Toshio. Toshio thought about the 3, now gives off to Williams. Lawwell back to Williams at the top. Now Andrew Toshio. Williams, 3, short, and Wilkerson gets the rebound as he came over the top of Powers and easily grabbed that one down. 40-36 the score. The winner plays tomorrow night at 7:30. The loser would have a game at 4:30. We do not know the opponent yet, as Summertown and Cascade will play later tonight. Andrews drives to the paint. Looking backside, and a good foul by Toshio as number 23, Jadam Aaron, had an easy look at the bucket, but enough of a shove to deter the shot and make him earn it from the stripe. So Toshio with his first infraction as that free throw goes down for the senior. The score, 41-36, as Loretto has Wilkerson, Andrews, Aaron, Tidwell, and Fisher. So I believe they're back to their starting group as Williams has it across court. Williams at the elbow. Toshio, 3. Bottom! Andrew Toshio! And the score, 42-39. That young man needs to get hot. The game in Unionville had quite a few threes in the first quarter. He's been quiet tonight. Maybe he'll get started here in the fourth. As Wilkerson has it, drives the paint, kicks out. Andrews thought about the 3. Now he'll drive the paint, puts up a floater. That one rims out. Rebound is loose, picked up by Andrews, and he'll back it out. Being harassed by Haskins and Toshio, but finally gives over to Wilkerson. Wilkerson drives, leaves it for a trailing Aaron, as Aaron now will give to Wilkerson beyond the arc. Wilkerson over to Aaron. They'll swing it across the horn as Andrews, spin move, drives the paint, kicks Aaron. Now to Wilkerson. Wilkerson thought about going in the lane, then backed it out as he gives to Andrews at the top of the key. Cam Andrews was held And let's see who the foul is on. I'm not sure if that was Lawwell or Haskins over there. It was a 3 or a 1. And that is going to be on Charlie Haskins. So Haskins picks up his first as Loretto still with possession of the basketball as Andrews has it. Tidwell flashes high. Now he's got it at the top of the key. Now Wilkerson on the right side. Back to Tidwell. Tidwell back to Wilkerson. Wilkerson will back it out. Hands over to Tidwell. Tidwell gives off to Andrews. Andrews deterred from going down into the lane as he gives to Wilkerson, who is literally on the Cascade logo. Now he'll give off to Tidwell. Tidwell going to drive, kicks out to Fisher. Fisher elects not to take the shot, and now Wilkerson will give to Andrews. They're simply just wasting clock at this point, trying to find the chink in the armor to get that shot. Tidwell now finds Andrews. Andrews over to Wilkerson. Wilkerson drives the paint. Blocked by Powers. And Williams comes out of there with it. Toshio, Haskins, back to Toshio. Williams will swing it to Lawwell on the right side as Williams has it at the top of the key. Now Toshio with it. Back to Williams. Lawwell with it on the right side. Now they'll swing. Toshio thought about that three. Gives back to Williams. Now they give off to Haskins down in the left corner. Back to Toshio. And Haskins gives to Lawwell at the top. Now Toshio with it on the left side. Lawwell back to Toshio. They'll swing it to Williams. And Williams back to Toshio at the top. Now back to Williams. Thought about the three. Went down low to Haskins. Haskins driving. Reverse layup. Won't go. And the rebound is taken down by Fisher, who gives over to Andrews. We're approaching the 4-minute mark. 3-point lead by the boys from Lawrence County. Wilkerson with it. He'll give over to Andrews at the top. Now Community showing a little more pressure as Lawwell puts his hand in there. The ball's loose on the ground. He's got it. Lawwell comes out with it. Gives over to Powers. Puts it up. Won't go. And the ball is loose. Williams with it. Now on the floor with Andrews. And it's going to be a tie-up. Possession arrow going to go over to Loretto. So one that Powers has got to knock home, as it was a good look as Lawwell came up with a steal, but Lawwell just could not get it to go off the square. And now the officials holding up play as possibly Aaron took a shot to the chin, maybe a blood issue there as he's got the towel to the face. And now the officials walking over to the scores table, and I'm not sure if Loretto is going to have to call a timeout or if we're just... I'm still unsure of the stoppage, but I guess someone's going to be awarded a little bit of time here. So we'll just stick with it. So again, the winner of this one will take on Cascade or Summertown. That game will be played at 7:30 on Saturday night. If you come up short in this contest, you will play at 4:30 against whoever comes up short in the contest that is following this one. So 3:50 to go here in the fourth. The score 42-39 in favor of the Loretto Mustangs. So Coach Tips pleading something to the official over at the scores table. And now he is double checking something with the ones that are keeping the books. And we've got a little bit of blood on the floor, so they are having to clean that up and attend to that. So not sure how badly Aaron was hit, but obviously it was enough to cause some damage as there is blood right along the three-point line. So they're getting that squared away. And both teams are huddled at their benches. So it looks like coming out of this little break, we'll still have Haskins, Lawwell, Williams, Toshio, and Powers. And you have to admit tonight, the game plan was try to take care of Tidwell, as the first time we saw him, he scored 20. The second time we saw him, he scored 31. And he is in double digits tonight, but nowhere near what he has had in previous contests, as they are continuing to mop up the floor as the fans across the way are clamoring for the game to continue. But apparently, as Aaron was struck and running, there's blood all the way from the far three-point line all the way to the baseline across the way. So they are getting that cleaned up. And we'll go ahead and take a quick break. You're listening to Viking Basketball on the Ball Network.
Home isn't just where you live, it's where you belong. It's your people, your school, and your community. That's why I'm proud to support our community Vikings and Vikings this season. Even if I can't shoot like them, I can still sell your house.
I believe everything is mopped up now. Apparently Aaron took a pretty good shot because there was quite a few spots on both baselines. So anyways, play has resumed. Loretto with possession and the three-point lead as Andrews has it. Andrews drives in the paint, puts it up. Yes, nice little scoop shot as that one goes for Cam Andrews, the junior, as Lawwell will bring it across the timeline. I thought he might have carried the basketball, but no call. As the score, 44-39, back out, Haskins three-pointer, and that one off the side of the rim. The ball is loose, and Tidwell's got it. So the Mustangs with it, as Powers will guard Tidwell closely. Tidwell going to drive down to the block, almost had it swatted away by Lawwell, now gives off to Wilkerson. And offensive foul as Wilkerson pushed off, and finally, a foul has been called as number 14, Eli Chapman, the sophomore, will check in for the first time tonight. So Williams will inbound on the far sideline. And actually, they're going to call Tidwell for that foul, that shove. I thought it was more really on Wilkerson, but the scoreboard says Tidwell. So Haskins with it. Lawwell's got it on the left side. 44-39 the score as we go under 3 minutes. Haskins, Lawwell. Lawwell at the top of the key. Now back to Haskins. Tashio being guarded by Andrews. Now Lawwell at the top. Lawwell going to hand off. No, he fakes the handoff to Haskins. Going to go back to him. Haskins, Tashio, three. And that one way off the mark. But rebound, Williams puts it up. Yes! Jackson Williams. And he has had the game of his life, 44-41. He's in double digits now for Community as Andrews puts that one up, but it's short of the mark. The ball's loose, and it goes out of bounds off of Grant Fisher. Fisher could not corral it, and Community's got it, 44-41, as Lawwell gives over to Haskins. Haskins now back to Lawwell. As you can see at home, we're approaching the 2-minute mark. Haskins now back over to Lawwell. Back to Haskins. Haskins motions Lawwell to come up and take it so he can come on through. Tashio now with it. Gives to Lawwell at the top of the key. Lawwell drives, kicks to Tashio. Now Haskins, top of the key, gives over to Powers. Powers on the right wing. Powers double teamed and throws to Lawwell, quickly to Tashio. Now back to Lawwell, Haskins on the left side. Now Lawwell at the top of the key. Long possession for Community. 1:30 to go now in the basketball game. Community trailing by 3. Tashio gives to Lawwell, comes through, and now Williams gives over to Haskins. Haskins down in the corner, gives back out to Williams. Williams at the top, Toshio, and timeout. Coach Hunter Farrell, he could tell that things were going stagnant. So we'll take the break. 1:16 to go in the fourth quarter. You're listening to Viking basketball on the Ball Network. Back at Cascade High School, the District 9 2A semifinal game. Community Vikings against the Loretto Mustangs. Loretto leads it by 3 with 1:16 to go, but Community does have possession. Haskins gives over to Williams. Williams now to Tashi on the right side. Now back to Williams at the top of the key. Now Williams pulls up, gives Tashio 3, and that one misses everything as the rebound going to go to Loretto. That in the form of Wilkerson. And now a little bit of press as they finally get it across the timeline. That being number 14, Chapman. And a tie-up. Possession arrow. Purple and gold. 50 seconds. Great effort there. The tie-up jump ball possession arrow belongs to Community. We've got it back. 47 seconds and counting. 44-41. Haskins with it. Haskins drives, floater, puts it up. That's short, gets his own rebound. Out to Toshio. Now over to Williams. Williams, Lawwell. Lawwell drives, slips. Toshio, Williams, 30 seconds now. Haskins takes a peek at the clock. He leaves it for Williams. 25 seconds now. Back over to Haskins. Three-pointer. That one's short of everything. Rebound Powers underneath. Well, Fisher's got it too. And now a tie ball is going to belong to Loretto. 17 seconds. And a timeout is going to be called by Coach Tips. So we'll take a break with him. 17 seconds to go. 3-point ball game. Loretto has possession. You're listening to Viking basketball on the Ball Network.
So Sudbury, located at 617 Parson Road in Shelbyville, Tennessee, is your one-stop shop for everything purple and gold. The Spirit Store has all things in every sport. Do you need new gear with the new community logos? So Sudbury has you covered. They have the new logos on all items and anything else you can imagine. So Sudbury, when it comes to quality, it must be so.
44-41 is the score, and I do not have the convenience of the stat man tonight. My father could not join. I know he's listening in, but from what I have kept up with, we have only had one successful three-point basket that I'm aware of, and that's unofficial. I could be wrong on that, but we have been snake-bitten from beyond the arc, and it continues. As that last possession, we just could not get it to go. So Loretto with possession. Burleson will inbound. They've got Andrews, Tidwell, Wilkerson, and Chapman. Meanwhile, we've got Lawwell, Williams, Toshio, Haskins, and Powers. And a tie-up at the elbow, but they're going to call a foul. And they're going to send Tidwell to the line. Well, no, that's only 14 fouls. Pardon me. So Burleson will have to inbound again as the foul called on. They got a foul called on number 4. We don't have a 4. And now Tidwell on the baseline. Again, draws a foul there. And now a timeout called by Coach Tips. So we are down to 12 seconds, a 3-point deficit. We'll take the quick break. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to the Ball Network. Loretto with possession, leading by 3. Burleson will inbound on his baseline, being fronted by Toshio. They get it off to Tidwell, and Tidwell's hacked by Andrew Toshio. So Loretto, I believe, can go to the line. Yes, that is the 5th team foul. So 10.9 seconds, as you can see at home, on the scoreboard, as Tidwell can put this thing away from the free throw line. As Tidwell will toe the mark, the free throw, and that one rattles home. It hit the front of the iron, the back of the iron, and then falls through the netting, as Fisher is going to check in for Burleson. So they've got Tidwell, Fisher, Wilkerson, Andrews, and Chapman. Meanwhile, we've got Lawwell, Williams, Powers, Haskins. As the free throw is missed, Haskins will have to push it. They also have Toshio out there. Lawwell, he's going to have to hurry. 5 seconds. Williams, the 3 won't go. Rebound, Toshio puts it up, and that won't go as well. And that's how this one is going to end, as there's a little tussle between Powers and Fisher. But they separate the two. That does not escalate. So again, our final score in the district semifinal, Loretto wins this one 45-41. So what does that mean for the Vikings? We will play tomorrow at 4:30. We will play either Cascade or Summertown. We already know that the girls will play at 3 o'clock against Cascade. So it very well could be a Battle of Bedford Part 3 for both the girls and the guys. But again, our final score, 45-41. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast despite the outcome. Be sure to join us, as we will have both the girls' game at 3 o'clock and the boys' game at 4:30 tomorrow here again at Cascade High School. So we thank you for your time this time. Until next time, I'm David Knowles. You've been listening to Community Basketball